Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave, and today we're going to take a look at the Wonder Man Hero Pack article that was revealed by FFG today. So we're going to take a look at Wonder Man's cards that were in the article based on my order of anticipated. So this is a top 10 list, but there's actually more than 10 cards, but hey, there was a lot revealed, so that's pretty good. This Wonder Man is the first hero in Civil War wave outside of the Civil War box. He is number 3 of the 4 heroes. So we have Tigra and Hulkling coming in the Civil War box in a couple weeks from now, the time of this recording. And then Wonder Man is scheduled for February. And there's a 4th hero, which I'm guessing will come alongside with Wonder Man in February as well. All right. But anyways, let's take a look at Wonder Man and my anticipated cards. So first of all, let's look at Simon Williams. He's a 3 recovery. He's a civilian. You may include events with a printed energy resource icon from any aspect in your deck. Set up, put iconic physiology into play. Now, I really like the fact that this is another hero with unique deck building. So that is amazing. All right, let's take a look at Ionic Physiology next. Ionic Physiology is a permanent upgrade to superpower, max 3 cards tucked here, response. After you play an event with a printed energy resource, tuck that event from your discard pile under this card. Heal 1 damage from your identity. And remember, you can include a printed energy resource events from any aspect. So that's amazing. You play an event with an energy, and then you stick it under Ionic Physiology. And you get to heal a point of damage. So that's cool. And then Wonder Man himself, on the hero side, is a thwart of 2, attack of 1, defense of 2. The attack has an asterisk. Aerial Avenger. So he's got printed aerial, so all those aerial decks you made for Angel or Falcon would work. He's also an Avenger, so any Avenger deck would work. See our Angel video and our Avenger video for some ideas. He has power recycling. Wonder Man gets +1 attack for each card tucked under Ionic Physiology. So as you tuck a card under, not only are you healing 1, but now you get +1 attack as well. And then as a force response, after Wonder Man makes a basic attack, discard each card tucked under Ionic Physiology. So as soon as you make a basic attack, you get the +3 if you have 3 under there, but then you lose the cards that are tucked under Ionic Physiology. So that's interesting. And we have a card that kind of talks about that a little bit in the countdown. All right, well, let's get to number 10. Number 10 is the Allies. Now, Wonder Man comes in Justice, and so he's got a few Justice allies that they showed in the preview article, 3 of them to be exact, and they're all kind of interesting, but I feel they're kind of all equally interesting, so I kind of combined them as my number 10. So the first one is Firebird. She costs 2 thwart, 2 attack with 2 consequential, 2 hit points, Aerial Avenger. If you overpaid for Firebird, put 1 rebirth counter on her. Interrupt. When Firebird would be defeated by consequential damage, remove 1 rebirth counter from her, heal all damage from her instead. So, in a way, she's like having 4 hit points. So, as long as she is defeated by consequential damage and not using her as a chump blocker. So, you can do 2 turns of thwarting or 1 turn of attacking until you do the rebirth counter. Then you get another use of thwarting or attacking. If you do attack, of course, she'd be defeated. But if you did thwarting, then she would have 1 hit point left and she could defend. The second ally is Sentry. He costs 3, 2 thwart, 3 attack, 5 hit points, Aerial Avenger. Now, we've already had a Sentry in aggression. This is Aerial Avenger. Force response: after Sentry enters play, search the encounter deck for a side scheme and reveal it. If no side scheme was revealed this way, place 6 threat on the main scheme. So, of course, the aggression one made you take an encounter card. This one is getting a side scheme out. So there is definitely a cost to playing him, but you've got a lot of hit points. He's pretty powerful for a very cheap cost. Then the third ally we have is Scarlet Witch. She costs 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points, Avenger Mystic, force response. After you play Scarlet Witch, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's a treachery card, resolve its when revealed ability. So this can have some immediate consequences, like where the villain attacks or schemes during the hero phase, or your shadows might come out. So if you're teaming up with the Falcon hero, this is amazing because you would be able to see the top card of the encounter deck, and you do it when there's not a treachery on top, and you can play Scarlet Witch with no cost. And it's really good if someone's obligation is out, because then you're discarding that obligation instead of having it resolved. So number 10 is the allies. Number 9 is a leadership card, Unified Strike. Now, he comes in Justice in his precon, but of course he can have off aspect events with energy, and Unified Strike is one of the ones that comes in his precon. It's a tactic, hero interrupt. When an ally uses a basic power, exhaust your hero. Add your hero's matching power to that ally's power for this use. That ally does not take consequential damage for this use. So the ally is the one doing the attack, and the hero is joining in with the attack stats. So this is the opposite of a card we already have, Teamwork, which costs 0. It is also a leadership with a printed energy, so you could technically add this with Wonder Man, and it is a hero run-up. When you use your basic thwart power or basic attack power, exhaust an ally you control, add that ally's matching power to your hero's power for this use. Now, I just came up with an aggression deck idea that uses Unified Strike. I don't know if I put Teamwork in. I might for thwarting purposes, but this is all about Brute Force, which is an upgrade that you attach to your hero. You can have up to 3 of them. You gain +1 attack, but as soon as you use a basic ability, then a basic attack, then you discard. So with Unified Strike, you could have 3 brute forces on your hero and not lose them because the ally is the one that's actually doing the attacking. And if Teamwork gets added to that deck, which I'm not sure if it would or not, but I would do that if I had an ally with good thwarting, then I could use Wonder Man's basic thwart, which is a base 2, so that's not bad. And then I'm exhausting an ally, and that ally is not taking consequential damage because Wonder Man's doing the attack. So number 9 is Unified Strike. Number 8 is Stronger Together. 0 cost protection event. It has energy, so of course it's available. Hero interrupt. When a character other than your hero would take any amount of damage, if that character shares a trait with your hero, reduce that damage by your defense, which your defense is 2, and your aerial and Avenger. So this is pretty nice because those are 2 strong traits. There could be lots of allies with aerial and or Avenger. Plus, if you're playing in multiplayer and the other players are playing Avengers or aerial characters, then you can at least reduce the damage that they take by 2. And if you're playing protection, of course, then your defense might be even higher. So number 8 is Stronger Together. Number 7 is Jet Belt. Costs 2, item tech, hero resource, exhaust Jet Belt, generate an energy resource for an event. Or hero resource, exhaust Jet Belt, and discard a card tucked under Ionic physiology to generate an energy resource. So the top one is only for events, which you're going to have an event-heavy deck. But if you're like a resource short for paying for an upgrade or support or something you need, you can discard one card under Ionic Physiology to pay for that card. So there is that. And then you can always play another event to replace the card that you had to discard. So number 7 is the resource generator Jet Belt. Number 6 is Energy Siphon. It's a resource card, Hero Interrupt. When you spin this card, you can take up to 3 damage. This card generates 1 additional energy resource for each damage taken this way. So if you're willing to take 3 points of damage, this can generate 4 energy, which you could use to pay for this card. Full body charge costs 4. It has a strength, so you'd have to play aggression for this card to be in your deck. But hero attack action, deal 8 damage to an enemy. If your hero's remaining hit points are less than half your hero's starting hit points, this attack gains overkill. And the fact that you took 3 damage to help pay for it could help get you to less than half your starting hit points for the overkill trigger if you need it. So number 6 is Energy Siphon. Number 5 is a tie between these two cards. The first one is Ionic Blast, cost 1, attack, superpower, hero action, attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy, deal 2 additional damage to that enemy for each energy resource you overpaid for this card to a maximum of 3 extra. And we have Active Altruism, cost 0, thwart, hero action thwart, remove 1 threat from a scheme, remove 2 additional threat from that scheme for each energy resource you overpaid for this card to a maximum of 2. So, yeah, as long as you pay a little bit overpay with energy, you get these cards become more effective. Number 4 is Mr. Hollywood. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a title resource. Generate an energy resource to overpay for a card, limit once per card. This works great with my number 5 choices because you get one of the overpays for both Iconic Blast and Active Altruism. So you would just, because it's limit once per card, but you don't exhaust Mr. Hollywood. So this could help overpay for both of those. And then, of course, after you resolve both of those cards, well, one at a time, then they go under the Ionic Physiology. So that's great. Number 3 is Heroic Conditioning. It costs 3. It's a condition. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. You get plus 3 hit points and your hero gets plus 1 thwart. So now this is a Heroic Intuition and an Endurance combined. So Heroic Intuition costs 2, and you play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Your hero gets plus 1 thwart, so now you have plus 2 thwart. And Endurance costs 1. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. You get plus 3 hit points. So now, with these 3 cards, you have plus 2 thwart and plus 6 hit points. If you're playing multiplayer, like say a 3-person multiplayer game, and one person's playing aggression and one person's playing protection, we've seen the aggression and the protection version of this card. Now you have a plus 1 in all 3 of your stats, and you have 9 hit points just from the heroic condition, just from the conditioning cards itself. If you throw an endurance on your hero, then that gives you 12 hit points. So that is really amazing, but that requires a team willing to play 3-cost cards, or 2 costs in the protection case, on other players. So, but if you got that going and you've got at least 3 players, you can make your heroes pretty powerful. Number 2 is a Justice Event, Everywhere All at Once. It costs X, Aerial Thwart, play only if your identity has the aerial trait, which of course you do. Hero action thwart, choose X schemes, remove 2 threat from each chosen scheme, 3 threat instead if you overpaid for this card. Now you combine this with Mr. Hollywood, which was my number 4, and that generates an energy resource to overpay for a card. So right there, you have the overpay that you need for everywhere all at once. So this can be like a super multitasking, but it's removing 3 threat from each scheme instead of 2 of only 2 schemes. So that is really good. And my number 1 is Starstruck. It's a 1 cost event, attack, superpower, hero action, attack, deal damage to an enemy equal to your attack. If you overpaid for this card with an energy resource, stun that enemy. So of course your basic attack is 1, but once you've played 3 events with energy, then your attack is 4. And if you're doing this would be with my Unified Strike deck, which I'm thinking strongly of doing, then I would also have 3 brute forces. So that would bring you up to 7. Aggressive conditioning and combat training, that brings you up to 9. So when you're doing at least a Unified Strike, you're providing 9 to the ally. Not to mention, of course, whatever ally's base attack has. So that is incredible. And you also get 3 extra hit points as an added bonus. But as soon as you use your basic ability, which could be 6, then of course you lose those events, but you could easily build it back up again for the Unified Strike. All right. Well, that was my most anticipated cards from the upcoming Wonder Man hero based on cards that we saw from the article. So that's pretty cool. So I'm really looking forward to Wonder Man. He sounds fun. Another unique deck building hero is always fun. So yeah, can't wait till February to try him out. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Thank you.